Hey everybody, Brava Chef Travis here, and today we're making one of my favorite seafood recipes, Brava Shrimp Scampi. This is a really classic recipe that just involves a few simple ingredients that you probably already have at home. So join me and see how easy this is to make. The first step in making your shrimp scampi is to mince a shallot. This shallot looks pretty big to me, so I may only do half of it, but I'm going to show you the technique here. You could use this whole shallot if you wanted to. And the shallot is completely optional in this recipe as well. The classic shrimp scampi does not have it, but I just think it adds a nice little sweet flavor to it. So very simply, peel the outer layer off of your shallot, right there. I like to leave the root intact so that it holds it together while you mince it. Using a very sharp knife, you want to make a few cuts across. Then make a bunch of cuts going down. And then mince. The next step is to chop your garlic. I like to mince it pretty fine here. And you can use 4 or 5 cloves. If you don't like garlic, you could certainly omit it, but it's one of the most important ingredients in the recipe. So you could cut it all the way down to 1 if you want. I actually like to use about 5 cloves. So it's really up to you. I wouldn't go more than 5, but I like it pretty garlicky. And here you just mince. Now into the Brava Chef's pan, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of butter. I just chopped it up into small pieces. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of olive oil in here. And then all of the garlic and shallots. Now to our butter, shallots, olive oil, and garlic, I'm going to add a big pinch of kosher salt and a few cracks of coarsely ground black pepper. I like to add the pepper at this stage because it will bloom in the hot oil and it will soften the bite of the pepper and infuse the fat with all of its flavor. And you also want to make sure that you give this a little quick stir. All that butter is going to melt down in the Brava, but you want to make sure that the shallots and garlic are nicely coated with oil. And we're ready to put it in Brava. You can see here I've selected Scampi on the touch screen, so all I need to do is take my chef's pan, uncovered, slide that into Brava, go navigate all the way to the right, and press the green button. While our shallots and garlic are cooking away, it's a good time to go ahead and pick and chop your parsley. I usually like to use Italian parsley, but this is all they had at the store, so I'm using curly today. But I like Italian. I feel like it has a little bit better flavor, but if you can only find curly, that's fine. Just use it. You could also add other herbs in here if you wanted. Basil would be good at the end. A little bit of oregano might be good. But parsley and garlic are really the classic flavors that are dominating in the shrimp scampi. When I chop parsley, I like to kind of try and roll it all up pretty tight. Making sure you curl your fingers. You can chop this as fine or as coarse as you'd like. Here you can see our shallots and our garlic just simmering away in that hot butter and olive oil. All right, now it's time to add our white wine and our chili flakes. You can see that our shallots and garlic the garlic has just started to brown. And so now I'm going to add my half cup of white wine. few chili flakes. And simply put it back in Brava and press the green button. And what we're trying to do here now is to reduce that wine by about half. Should take about 4 minutes. Here I have 1 3/4 pounds of deveined and peeled shrimp. I like to leave the tail on just for presentation. I think it looks pretty, but you certainly could take the tail off if you want. You could even use shell-on shrimp if you want. And in order to get 1 3/4 pounds, what I used was 2 pounds of frozen shrimp that had the shell on. Once you take the shell off, you get about 1 3/4 pounds. So this is the perfect amount. Also note, it's really important that you guys put this on a paper towel to drain. I even patted the tops dry. There's a lot of excess liquid, especially when you thaw frozen shrimp. And so I want to make sure that we get as much of that off as possible so that we can really concentrate the shrimp flavor and not water it down with water. All right, now it's time to add our shrimp to our white wine mixture here. So I'm gonna put the shrimp in the pot. I'm also gonna add a big pinch of salt. And then it's important here to stir, just to make sure that you get that white wine and garlic coated on each of the shrimp. Now we just got to put them back in Brava. This is the last step. And here you can see those shrimp cooking away. All right, our shrimp just finished cooking, and now time to finish the dish. Look at that. Such a simple finish. Just take the juice of half a lemon. This really brightens up the dish and cuts through that butter. And the parsley that we chopped. And that's it. Just stir. This is really, really good served with crusty bread or some fresh pasta. The bread is really, really nice to soak up all of these juices. And that's the dish.